Oh, we're
All
live.
right. We're live. We'll do it live. I'm Craig Fountain. We're here with the Browns table. I got Tim Unkefer here with me. This is the first episode of the Browns table. We have another guest joining us. We're having some technical difficulties, so sorry for the late start. The whole idea behind the Browns table is that we're gonna do is we're gonna attempt to do a live stream to where we can have roundtable discussions with other Browns fans. What that means is you'll see myself and another person or two or three, and then if you want to join the show and think of it like calling into a radio show, send me a DM on Twitter at the Browns table. All right. And we'll send you a link, and you can jump in and get involved and ask a question if there's something you want to say. We can do all that good stuff. So it's going to be pretty cool. Let me see if I can get some of our other hosts in here. Hey, it's that fat guy. How's it going?
One.
What's going on, boys?
How we doing?
We just got done recording, so it's been kind of crazy.
Let's see if we got Chad here. Chad, are we good? Can we hear each other?
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're cutting out. And
Hey,
we
there's
have
Gavin.
Gavin here. Gavin, how's it going?
New Jersey.
All right, Gavin, we'll get right back to you. Give us just a second here. And then we'll see if we can get Chad straightened out here. Now, Tim, why don't you introduce yourself? Maybe mention a couple projects you have going on.
My name's Tim Unkefer. Obviously, you can see it right there. Craig's got us all set up. We see everybody's names. I do a lot of different things. I have a podcast that, it's in and out all the time. It's called Interview with Nobody. That's my biggest passion project. At the same time, I have a management company with a friend of mine. His name's Jake Farbman. It's Gavin, who we will see here in a little bit. That's his little brother. We do a lot with, a couple different musicians and some TikTokers. And I'm a big Browns fan. And it's exciting that we have a team that we can be proud of right now. So that's fucking awesome.
Yes, it is. And let's go over to that fat guy. Why don't you introduce yourself? Talk about your projects a little bit here.
All right, I am that fat guy. We are in charge of Illegal Ham to the Face. And most people don't know that we talk Cleveland sports all the time, but we also talk Cleveland food. So that's why the fat guy's in here, because we go to different, let's just say, bars and get their aspects on the game time decisions and how they control everything, especially with the food and beer specials.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, but I have to say, I love your podcast. I've listened to it. It's such an interesting show, and I am in love with, number one, your name, Illegal Ham to the Face.
Thank you.
All right, that's a great podcast name for what you're doing. Also, this podcast art is on point. It really is. It's perfect. I absolutely love it, and I love your show. And, I appreciate you coming on the Browns table.
Oh, of course. Hold on. I got to take out my glasses because we got a little reflect going.
Oh, no worries.
No, and I appreciate you guys asking us to come on, because we just love talking Cleveland sports. We love talking food. And if you guys want to check us out, go ahead and check us out at, at Ham Illegal, I think what it is on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I just want to say thank you.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and just kind of get the conversation started, and then we'll bring Gavin in here. Gavin's our first guest on here. Let's start with you. That fat guy, what was your impression of the Cleveland Browns win over the New York Giants?
It was a boring win, but it was a win they needed to have. And the reason why I say that is because those teams, you just got to win. It doesn't matter how pretty it is. It doesn't matter if it's flamboyant, or if somebody throws for 400 yards, or if you have a running back that goes for 200 yards. You just need to win those games. You
Absolutely.
had Freddie Kitchens as a offensive coordinator, and you had Colt McCoy as a quarterback. You have to win that game, because if you don't win that game, you got to look back at that game going, Freddie Kitchen was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And Colt McCoy was the quarterback.
It was pretty crazy to see Colt McCoy, and I tweeted this, and it was kind of I don't know if you guys noticed this. He did not look like he was in his comfort zone in the huddle. He looked great at the line of scrimmage. He had command of his offense. He was making all the reads, all the calls, but when he was back in the huddle and back around his teammates, his body language looked very, very, very uncomfortable. Did you guys catch on to that at all?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
It was a little bit. Tim, what was your thoughts on the game?
Well, my thoughts on the game was what a lot of people didn't really know was or pay attention to is the Giants entered that game as the 9th best defense in the NFL. I don't know if anybody knew that or at the time, like 2 weeks prior, they beat the Seattle Seahawks. So, they weren't like a complete pushover team. Their offense, on the other hand, is not, but their defense, they had some COVID issues. I forget their cornerback's name. He was out.
Bradbury.
Yeah, there you go. And at the same time, they threw blitzes at Baker. And
right.
Baker was 11 of 12 when he was presented with a blitz package. That has been a problem of his, and we're seeing it. So yes, like the fat guy said, it was a boring game, but there were so many takeaways to be happy about in that game.
Baker's efficiency was incredible. This might have been the most efficient game he's played in his career. Certainly in the past 3 weeks, we've saw some incredible performances from him, but from an efficiency standpoint, this was a good one. I'm going to bring in Gavin here. How's it going, Gavin?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
We're doing great. Appreciate you chiming in here to the Browns table. We're talking Browns in a roundtable format, and I'm curious, you're in New Jersey, correct?
Yes, I'm currently in New Jersey.
All right. So what's the mood like over there? What was your impressions of this game? And do you have any great takeaways from it?
Well, I want to start off by saying I'm a Giants fan first. I was born and raised a Giants fan. But a few years back, I guess when the Browns were like in the 1-15, 0-16 years, we figured, my dad, my brother, and I came together and we were like, the Browns are like really bad. So we were like, we should hop on the train now because they got to be good eventually. So we would be there before all the bandwagon fans. So
right.
Yeah, I'm a Giants fan first, but I follow the Browns, root for the Browns. We say we bleed blue and we shit brown. So, but as a Giants fan first, that was a game. I mean, we were down and Bradbury wasn't playing. Daniel Jones wasn't playing. Even our slot cornerback, the rookie Darnay Holmes, who's been having a good year, he was out. So it was next man up for us, and the backups couldn't really do it, unfortunately, for the Giants. But for the Browns, they're a game out of clinching a playoff spot for the first time and win.
Yeah, there's. Go ahead.
2007.
What's that?
2007.
2007. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. 2007 feels like forever ago. So let's kind of move there. So, what kind of confidence do you guys have in the Browns' ability to clinch this week? There's a number of ways this could go. Assuming we can beat the Jets, which we'll get to later on. If the Ravens lose, the Dolphins lose, or the Colts lose, we're in, right? That's the scenario. What on a scale of 1 to 10, let's start with you, Tim. What's your confidence level here?
Are one of those teams losing?
Yes. Or just us getting, because one of them needs to lose and we need to win to get in.
I don't know. It's something that I read was the Browns are in a dream/nightmare situation right now. Not every one of those teams could technically win out. Like, it's not like drastic that they couldn't win out. I hate the fact to know that if the Steelers beat the Colts, we're in the playoffs. If the Colts beat the Steelers, we're playing the Steelers at the end of the season. But if those other teams win and the Steelers would beat us the last game of the season, we're out of the playoffs. Like, I don't know. So like my confidence level is high. We're at like a 92% chance is what they have us ranked at right now or something like that. So like my confidence is high, but I've been a Browns fan my entire life. I still have a little, as much as it has disappeared this year, I still have a little bit of that. What can fucking happen to us? Like the worst case scenario could be there still.
Right. That fat guy, I'm going to get to you in a second, but let's let Chad's finally with us. Let's let Chad introduce himself. Why don't you go ahead and just give us an introduction, and we'll get rolling here.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, it's at the Cleveland Elf on Twitter, at Cleveland_Elf. But yeah, technical difficulties taking care of them on the laptop now. But no, the confidence level, is that what we're on, or where are we at right now, Craig? Sorry.
Yeah, we're. What's your confidence level heading into this week that we can clinch?
So to parlay on what he was just saying, I mean, we've all been Browns fans. We've been down this road before. I mean, but this just feels like a different beast altogether. So I'm fully confident. Not only that, I think we might have a shot at the division. I really do, just because Pittsburgh looks so lame right now with everything going on, that I don't expect the Jets to win next week. And that puts us in a great scenario the last week. And I just feel really confident of that. I did see the scenarios that we could go 11-5 and theoretically miss out with the Baltimore, the Indy scenarios, but 92%. I just feel like Baker's the difference. As we talked about a month ago, Craig, that I got to eat my words with what I said about him playing so much. I mean, the last 3 games, I haven't seen a quarterback play like this in Cleveland my entire life. So my confidence levels with him, and he has it now for me, and that's the difference I think right now with how I feel.
Let's go to that's fat guy real quick. Which game is most likely to go our way to get us in there? What do you think?
Honestly, I think it's the Indy Steelers game. I think that the Steelers are finally going to beat Indy, and that gets us the lock in. But if not, something, to beat the best, you got to be the best, right?
True.
So
Absolutely.
let's go after the Steelers. If that happens, why not take out Big Ben and send him on a swan song off to the, greener pastures and let him retire?
For sure. I'm looking at the Miami game personally. I don't know if that might be the game that does it. If we beat the Jets and Miami takes an L this game, their defense is certainly looking tough, but I would disagree. I think that the Colts have a great chance to beat the Steelers this week.
100% they do.
I'm looking at Miami as our ticket. Gavin, what do you think?
I mean, we're all assuming the Browns win here, but how about the Jets beating the Rams last week? Are they still a pushover? I mean,
yes,
they are. I mean, the Browns got a really good run game, got a really good passing attack now that Baker's finally heating up. But all right, so we're assuming we win that game. I'm sorry, who's Miami play?
Las Vegas.
Vegas? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It really might come down to that Week 17 game against Pittsburgh, and I'm all for that.
It would be exciting. I'll give you that is something that I definitely could look forward to. I'd probably lose my mind that day. I can't even fathom the thought of us playing the Steelers in the last game of the season, knowing that if we win the division. If we lose, we don't even make the playoffs. That would be I kind of want it. A part of me wants that, but man, I have no words for what that would be, to be honest.
It would be exciting, but it would be scary as hell, because sure, you'd love to get in that way, but that's not the way you want to go out.
No,
for sure.
Especially with Steelers fans.
Oh man. So man, what a game last night. I know we're talking Browns, but Chad, what do you think this means for the Steelers moving forward? Do you think that it's over? They're going to lose out? What's your opinions here? What are we looking at?
Does it look like the same team that we've seen for the last 2 months of the season before? It's like Baker gained his swagger for us just as much as Ben and everybody else in that camp has lost their swagger. The momentum is everything in sports, and it just feels different. And the defense doesn't look the same. They're not able to run the ball like they wanted. They haven't been able to run the ball very, very good at all. That's why they have the short passes, and Ben's throwing 45 times a game. That's not how Pittsburgh wins. They win with the defense and the run game. And right now it just seems lost. So I feel like the momentum's just gone there, and the confidence is back in our corner. Yeah, I'd love to take him on in that last game at home, or just with the playoffs on the line of the division. Let's just do it. Let's just do it in our backyard. Let's take it on because they got nothing right now, the way I see it. I mean, they went in against Washington a few weeks ago. They looked lost, and then Monday night, what was that last night? I mean, I turned the game off at halftime. We had family over. And they're like, turn this off. That's terrible. It's not even a ball game worth watching.
Yeah, so here's the biggest thing. Everybody wants to talk about this. Mike Tomlin's supposedly going to talk to Juju about dancing on logos in midfield before the game.
Yeah.
So here's my question. I want to start with that fat guy here. What happens if Juju dances on the Browns logo at midfield?
Well, I don't want to go there, but there might be some helmet tossing.
That's some helmet tossing.
Like, really? Why do you got to dance? Like, I don't understand.
Do we designate a guy like Sandejo to go take one for the team?
Well, we already designated Sandejo to take one for the team. What are you talking about? No, I don't understand. Somebody's going to take him out, and it's going to be bad, and it probably will be either A, Carl Joseph, or B, Sandejo that takes him out. But why dance? Why dance? Why you like? I just don't understand it.
Go ahead, Tim.
He got lit up. I don't know if that was because of his dance, but I don't even know who put that hit on him. But he got lit up early in that game.
He didn't get a little bit lit up. He did a break dance as
he got rocked.
Lit
he
up.
really did.
I forget. I don't know who hit him. I don't know.
Von Bell.
Von Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good one.
All I saw was 24, and I did go down and then spin around, and I'm just going to lay here for a second, guys.
What number was that truck that just hit me?
Yeah.
Right. Real quick, guys, I'm just going to interject here. So, if you just stumbled upon us, this is the Browns Table. We're having a roundtable discussion that anybody can join. If you DM us on Twitter at the Browns Table, we're live on Facebook also. You can comment on the stream, and we'll see it here in the studio. We'll send you a link. You can join. Think of it like calling into a radio show, but we'll be video chatting. You can join the discussion. Bring something to the table. That's what we're going to say. What do you bring to the table? It can be a rant, it can be a question, whatever you want. We're also live on YouTube and everywhere. It's the Browns Table. We're easy to find. Search it up. So let's go to the We Lost Chad. We lost Chad. More technical difficulties. We're learning here. There he is. He's coming back.
Oh, he's coming back? All right.
He's coming back. There he is.
Sorry, dude. I probably gotta get closer to the router. I'm downstairs, away from the kid. They're watching I'm going nuts. I'm sorry.
Let's until we get somebody else to come on here. This is an interesting topic this week. There's a couple snubs here, I think, in Cleveland for the Pro Bowl. That fat guy. Why don't you lead us on this one? Do you think anybody got snubbed?
Wyatt Teller. How did Wyatt Teller not get voted into the Pro Bowl? I know he missed a few games, but he's the best guard besides Batonio. Like, there's nobody else. Like, he rated out above everybody else.
And actually, if you look at the overall PFF rankings, he was top 3 at any position, not just guard, any position, the top 3 overall graded PFF player in the NFL. So that's a snub. Chad, what do you say? You got any other snubs?
I mean, Teller right out the gate. I think he's our best player this year overall, just because of where he came from.
All right. We lost Chad again. He's too far from the Wi-Fi router. Gavin, what do you think? Does anybody come to mind?
Oh, definitely Teller. I mean, the whole O-line this year has really been great, and that's been the reason the team's done so well. I mean, you could have Conklin there. I know they've all been injured a lot. You know, Treader's missed a few games, but he's been real good. I mean, definitely Teller, though. That's shocking to me, especially considering going into the year, like that was the one question mark on the offensive line, and he exceeded everyone's expectations. Everyone's.
All right, we have French on Facebook. He got his ass kicked in Jacksonville. So we're going to hide the Duval. My wife, Nicole, why don't you jump on here? Let me send you a link. You can talk some Browns.
Come on.
We got some comments here. We can show comments. DM us, and we'll get you on the show. I'm going to check the messages right now, see if we have anybody. Don't be shy. It's just video. Nothing to be scared of. That fat guy. I'm sorry, we already went to you. Tim, do you view anybody as getting snubbed for the Pro Bowl?
I agree with everybody here, and especially Gavin. The entire O-line, multiple media outlets came out and said that. They're like, the Browns' offensive line could have been a Pro Bowl offensive line. Like, that's like, you have, Conklin at the same time, what was it? He has one Pro Bowl under his belt. Is that it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting because I still think everybody has that stigma. Craig, you touched on it before with ESPN. We're still the Browns in a lot of people's eyes. So they kind of just look over everything else, no matter what they're doing statistically. People still don't want to give Baker credit where credit's due, but the numbers are showing, since week 7, he ranks with Mahomes, Brady, and Aaron Rodgers for his QBR. Like, that's some people, like, that's highly touted right there. Like, to be with those guys, like, that's crazy. I still think that we're just the Browns and people are still overlooking us, but we're definitely shining through. That's for sure. They're not going to be able to keep overlooking us for that long.
Absolutely. And it's crazy to think about with Wyatt Teller. In training camp, the biggest question mark was who's going to play right guard. We had no idea. It was Wyatt Teller. It was Chris Hubbard. It was Nick Harris. Like, who are we going to have in here? It was the biggest question mark. And Wyatt Teller, I think, was kind of a surprise to win the starting job. And really, it really was the only question mark on offense. It's amazing to me that he's performed this well, considering that was our biggest question on the entire offense, and he turns out to be our biggest strength. Does anybody think that does Denzel Ward deserve to be in? I mean, I know we got Miles. I know that's a tough one. Jarvis, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I was going to say Kareem at the same time. Like, we have a lot of guys. And one of the things about Teller is the way it goes in all sports and your Pro Bowl selections, your All-Star game selections, everything, you have to have a name. Like you said, he won the job. No one knew. He isn't a household name to where they want to throw him out there. He isn't a highly touted player in the NFL that they were like, we got to, that's also something that is really crappy in that sense when it comes to, professional sports, is if you're a name, you're going to get a little bit more of a boost in those selections just because of your name. And even team, like I said, even the team that you play for, you're going to get a little bit more because of who you play for.
Yeah, I'd like to jump in there because Evan Ingram made the Pro Bowl, and God, he's been having an awful year. He literally has bricks for hands. I call him the root of the problem because you have to throw him out there. He's so athletic. He always disappoints. And Big Bob Tunyon down in Green Bay, he has 8 more touchdowns than this guy. And Evan Ingram was a first-round pick, much bigger name. Like Teller was like a 5th-round pick. So it's unfortunate that it works like that. But it's just how it is.
It is to some extent a popularity contest. And Josh Jacobs got in. I think you could have put Kareem Hunt there. The biggest Pro Bowl snub was probably James Robinson in Duval. There's your Duval shout out, French. That's all you're getting. That is my co-host for the Gingers Talk Football podcast. So he's also Ginger. What's that?
As soon as I saw Duvall, I knew it was.
Yeah. That's my brother from another mother. Literally, we share a dad biologically. We're both Gingers. So Gingers Talk Football is an NFL podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you look. Tim's got a podcast interview with nobody. That's in reboot stage, right, Tim?
Yes, it is. 2021. So let's see. Let's make it happen.
And then you have That Fat Guy, Illegal Ham to the Face.
Yo,
Best podcast name ever. All right, and we already went. Let me throw this art up there again because I just can't get enough of it.
I love that. That's awesome.
And then Gavin, do you have any projects or podcasts or anything else that you work on?
For a while there, I was doing a couple different things. I had a YouTube channel there for a bit, podcast. I spent a lot of time. I had a Knicks specific meme page. I don't know if you guys follow Angry Browns fans on Instagram, but okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But so I DM'd him one day. I was like, love the page, but like you, I'm an angry Knicks fan. So I started a Knicks specific meme page. I had that going for a while. That got a little exhausting because there's only so many Julius Randle commit, and basketball was off for a while too, like because the Knicks hadn't played since March. So it got really tough to keep putting content out there, and got real busy there.
so I got to ask, is it every Knicks fan an angry Knicks fan?
Every Knicks
That's a
fan
fair
is.
question.
If you're not, you watch.
I just want to make sure because I'm pretty sure every Knicks fan is an angry Knicks fan.
It's been too long. It's been way too long.
All right. Let's see. Give me just a second. Anything That Fat Guy you want to talk about Browns wise? Anything you want to bring to the table?
The one thing I want to talk about is the last game. Carl Joseph showed up.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did, big time. And my wife is a Mountaineer. All right, my wife is from West Virginia, and when he got drafted, I was hoping the Browns would take him, but they didn't. But they got him now, so I'm excited. But Carl Joseph showed up this last game, and I'm glad he did because he helped out with the run.
And he said it. The team needed me to step up, and I did. And he was like, it's exciting to see the players get excited because he was excited to say that. He was excited to know that he contributed, and that, that becomes what word am I looking for here? Not intoxicating, contagious.
Okay.
It becomes contagious across the board. So everybody wants their spotlight. Everybody wants to make those plays. And, in the words of Baker, the Browns are dangerous.
Yeah?
No one wants to play the Browns right now.
No.
No one does.
So I got to ask a question. What is everybody drinking tonight?
I'm drinking some Great Lakes Christmas Ale out of a Baker Mayfield BW3s.
What's this? I can't see top left.
Can't see
That's
Tim.
Oh.
Well, I'm drinking Great
You
Lakes
got
Christmas Ale.
You got
Yeah.
Christmas ale. Craig, what are you drinking?
Blue Moon. I'm keeping it classy. Normally it's Bush Light for me.
Right. Nice for you. And
Gavin's not. Gavin doesn't look old enough.
not look old enough.
I'm not old enough.
I am drinking a little bit of the Cleveland Underground whiskey, the rye whiskey with the black cherry wood finish.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I got
no drink for me.
I actually recently just had a beer called the Mad Elf.
oh
Independent Brewing Company.
yes.
It's just honey and cherries, 11% alcohol, and it is delicious. Look at this guy over here.
I know.
What's this guy drinking?
He's coming in flexing.
Yeah, he is. What's up, BJ?
What you doing?
Talking Browns. What are you doing?
I'm playing Santa, man.
Playing Santa. You're
Playing
on.
Santa.
You don't have a beard.
What's that?
He's on the clock, I think.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm at the fire station.
My bad.
He's jealous. He's not cranky. He's just jealous. BJ, what do you think of this game this past week? There you go.
What was that?
Monster.
Oh, that a boy, the white one?
Yeah.
Attaboy.
To be honest, I didn't really know how to react. I mean, I'm not used to sitting there watching a game and being comfortable with it.
Yeah, when Baker cocks back to throw and you expect it to be a completion, it's something completely new to us. Not just for Baker, but just in general.
Well,
it's pretty crazy.
It was quite awkward, to be honest. It was kind of like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. with what BJ just said, Craig, a couple weeks ago, I was listening to your podcast and you brought up the fact that, that Ravens game, 2 minutes to go, Ravens are up, and you get that feeling, and you didn't have that feeling, oh shit, anymore. Like you were like, Baker's going to take us down the field and score. Like I had that same feeling. Like I am confident in this happening right now. I didn't expect to happen what happened in the end, but to have the confidence, like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, they scored, who cares? Like we're going to do it too.
BJ, if you get a call and forget your phone, we're just going to leave you on live for a while.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm on my laptop, but I'm taking my phone. So.
Oh, okay. All right. We're just going to start hearing sirens in the background of the fire station.
As long as you mark something down on the chalkboard in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be drawing pictures back there.
Yeah, show us.
I don't even know if there's any chalk back here, to be honest with you.
I see a piece of chalk.
Nice.
It looks like it's really small. But it's there.
There it is. Have you guys noticed?
No. Damn.
Hold on.
I thought I was going to have to take him off the screen just in case.
I like that shirt.
I know, right?
I like that a lot. Where can I get one?
Oh, this one of those little dots.
West Virginia. My wife bought me this shirt.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
And all I
awesome.
do is sing the State Farm song.
All right. So, Joe Starkey was planning on joining tonight, but one thing I wanted to discuss was Harris stepping in and the O-line not missing a beat. I think besides Stefanski being coach of the year, Bill Callahan, best O-line coach. What do you guys think?
I'm excited about our offensive line.
Yeah. Like the fact that this is their first year, basically playing together, it's going to be very, very nasty. Teams have a lot to worry about over the next few years with our O-line and Chubb and Hunt, to be completely honest.
All 5 offensive linemen, they are all like above average at their position, if not elite.
By the way, that's my mom.
That's your mom? All right. There we go. All right. Hi, Mom. Yeah, so like we kind of touched on it right before BJ jumped on. That was the biggest question mark heading into the season, was that right guard spot. And Bill Callahan is probably the reason our O-line is so well put together. And Kevin Stefanski, number one, you got to give credit to the way he's put this team together, considering all the circumstances and all the hurdles. But Bill Callahan in Stefanski's corner and coaching that O-line that's probably Stefanski's best hire so far, anyways, at least. Bill Callahan, he's our best kept secret. Every time I hear the media bring up Bill Callahan, I'm like, no, don't talk about him. We don't want anybody to know he's here. It's just, don't take him from us. Just don't do it. But what do you guys think of Joe Woods? Speaking of Stefanski hires, Joe Woods, is he the guy? Do we need to give him another year? Do we launch a DC after just 1 year, considering the circumstances? That fat guy, why don't you give me your opinion?
You cannot get Joe Woods out of here after this year. You had Grant Delpit go down with an Achilles, who was going to be a starting safety. You had Greedy go out with, I think, nerve pain, but we're still not sure about that. All right, you lose half your secondary, you lose your linebackers, you lose people on defensive line. You cannot blame Joe Woods for that, because he is working what he has to work with. And I think if he gets everybody back where it was supposed to be, I think this is a top 10 defense.
I don't think that is I think that's a completely reasonable thing to say. You know, all right, so let's
The only reason why I say it is if you think about it, they're playing with backups as a secondary besides Denzel Ward.
Yeah.
And last week we didn't even have Denzel Ward against the Ravens. We didn't have one starter in our backfield against the Ravens. Not one.
Yeah. Do not play the Cleveland Browns shuffle and get rid of somebody after 1 year. Can't do it. No.
Can't do it.
I completely agree with you guys. Gavin, do you have something you want to jump in with?
The defense this year is doing exactly what it has to do to win games. You know, they're not shutting anybody out, but they're keeping it close. They're making plays when they have to. I look at that Tennessee Titans game, that first half. I mean, they made Derrick Henry fumble. The defense has been good this year with not a lot to work with. I'd say you can't fire him. You got to give him another year.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get healthy. Let's focus on the offseason on our defense because our offense is I don't see us needing anything on offense.
All right. Let's interrupt the conversation real quick here. This is my much better looking than me brother, French, co-host of the Gingers Talk Football podcast. How you doing, French?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. What are you up to tonight? You jumping in to talk some Browns, or are you gonna try to talk some shit?
I'm gonna wear my Duval. Let's
Duval.
go.
Oh man.
Fun fact about this shirt. It's a grunt style. It's the American Patriotic Company. They're actually the Jaguars are the first NFL team to partner with them. So I mean, Browns can suck it, I guess, but I mean,
stop.
go Jags.
You got your ass kicked.
I'm not here to talk crap. Dude, I'm happy. I mean, gosh. I mean, we get Trevor Lawrence for the next 15 years.
What's that, BJ?
I said the gym I go to partners with Grunt Style. I'm not impressed.
So BJ is actually was a Jaguars fan long ago, back in the day.
I still root for them. When the Browns left, I rooted for Jaguars for 5 years because they played Pittsburgh twice and Baltimore twice, and they were an expansion team. Nobody could call me a front runner.
There you go.
Back in the days of Mark Brunell and Jimmy Smith and.
I'm impressed with your rapping form, by the way.
Yeah, you are doing great.
It's really good.
So here's the thing: this is like I feel like I'm being judged by Sam, honestly, because she's so meticulous, and then she made a comment whether or not she's like, "Are you one of them guys that can't rap?" So I feel like I'm being judged, and this being our first Christmas, I feel like
well, she's gonna have to watch this because we all just gave you the thumbs up on the rapping on the forum.
You're using an awful lot of tape.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
So French is back. I was telling you, my brother-in-law BJ, Barry S on the screen. He was a Jaguars fan back in the day before the Browns came back. So, but he's all Browns now. Let's see here. Joe Starkey says, let Barry draft some guys and bring in some free agents to solidify this defense. I would completely agree with that. You got the defensive backfield injuries. We touched on that. You have Grant Delpit and a couple guys out. That fat guy, let me ask you this. Mac Wilson, what's going on there? Where in the world is Mac Wilson?
All right. So we just had Kevin Arnold on from the Voice of the Land podcast, and we talked about it a little bit. And this is what we think is a disciplinary thing. All right, somebody say it for me.
Disciplinary?
There it is. All right.
Disentablishmentarianism. That one.
There it is. That one.
Yes.
Because he missed, I don't even know how many tackles. Princess is in the background. I'm sorry about Princess.
Princess is welcome.
All right. No, he missed way too many tackles, and they can't do that as linebackers. And I think this was a wake-up call to Wilson to kind of step up a little bit because the guy that filled his shoes is a rookie with Jacob Phillips.
Played pretty well.
He did, but he didn't miss any tackles.
Right. Tim, what do you think? We get Grant Delpit back. hopefully you get Greedy Williams back. Is replacing? Is there something wrong with Mac Wilson? Is this kind of a bump in the road? What do you think, Tim?
I think I love the disciplinary action. Like I love that fact that you were missing tackles. You weren't doing your job. You know, you see good coaches do that. You see healthy scratches because it's, you know, basically get your head in the game, do your job. I don't think that there's a problem with him. I think that he just needs to get his head in the game. And that's all I really have to say about it is the fact that I can't get over the, you know, Stefanski benching him, making him a healthy scratch. We need that. You know, we've never had that. You know, you saw, like, for instance, with Pittsburgh, Deontay Johnson got benched last week. You know, that is the making of a good coach that has no fear of taking a top player out of the game or a starter and benching him and say, go over there and sit on the bench because you're not doing your job right now. So I think it's a bump in the road. And he's going to want back out there. He's going to get hungry. He's going to hit harder. He's going to make those tackles.
All right, so we got Joe Starkey asking the real question is, where's Greedy? He's got nerve damage, but the information has been extremely limited, and I don't know how much I'm buying this. I mean, Gavin, were you following this throughout the beginning of the season when he first went out? He ended up day-to-day and then fell off the face of the earth.
I have no clue where Greedy Williams is. I thought he would be playing, and I honestly can't tell you.
That fat guy. Do you know where in the world Greedy Williams is?
He is somewhere in LSU.
Somewhere at LSU.
I asked this question on 850. I got a, hey, Tony, are we bringing back Greedy Williams? And nobody is telling me where he's at. And he is a second-round pick that we wasted on because guess what? He's a no-show. He has played what? This is his third year or second year? Second year. And he's played a whopping 4 games, maybe 5.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's nerve damage in his shoulder. So I'm guessing it's a bit more serious than we initially thought.
Okay, well, I'm fat and I got nerve damage in my hamstring, my ankle, my shoulder, and part of my liver from drinking whiskey.
French.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
French, we're talking about the defensive backfield, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank you and Duval for Ronnie Harrison. We can't get that guy back soon.
Yeah, thank you.
We got him. We got him almost for free.
Yeah, you guys pretty much did. I mean, we gave a lot of players away this past couple years too. So I'm not surprised Ronnie Harrison, left our defensive backfield, but it's whatever. You guys didn't have him, so I mean,
oh man,
we're tanking. It's Tanksonville.
A fan
come on, Craig.
scorned. A fan scorned. Tanksonville. Tanksonville.
How excited were you that the Jets won?
I was so excited. I blew Craig up like we're number 1 overall. We're freaking Trevor Lawrence, and he goes, Trevor Lawrence tears his ACL in the playoffs, and I'm like, dude, let me have my moment. Let me have my moment. My worst nightmare is he decides to play another year in Clemson, but I don't think that's the case. When the Jets won, I was super happy. I was ecstatic because this is going to be the second best draft pick the Jaguars are going to have. First is always going to be Mark Brunell or Fred Taylor. Either way.
So,
go ahead.
So what happened was I text French is blowing me up, like all caps.
Yeah.
Like it had to have taken effort to put that much text in all caps on the phone. He's like texting me like we're number 1 overall, this and that and the other, and I'm texting him every worst case scenario. First, I'm like, Trevor Lawrence tears his ACL in the playoffs. Jaguars could draft Trevor Lawrence, but take Justin Fields anyways. They draft an O lineman. I'm like sending him every worst case scenario, and he was not having it at all.
Was not good. But fortunately, I got to root against I got to root for the Jets, man, this weekend. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I was Cleveland Browns fans. And I root
I'm
for y'all,
kicking
but
your
this
ass out
week,
for that.
I can't for this week.
I'm kicking you out.
Mute.
Um,
Mute.
Mute.
There-
Oh man.
I got a
Oh
quote.
man.
So you
See, now he's coming back.
He's
Mute.
coming back.
I'm
He just won't go away.
I feel like Max Kellerman ever just shits on me for my opinions, but it's okay. This is the Browns one.
That's all right.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm happy to be on, guys. Thank you so much. I have a lot of respect for the Dog Pound for sure. We can all agree sit here and understand that nobody understands losing as much as all of us do, no matter our team. So,
Browns
you know,
and
we've had
Jaguars.
Browns and Jaguars. We've had recent success back in 2017 Duval, but now it's time for the Cleveland Browns to make that corner too. So I'm rooting for y'all. I really am. It's cool to see different teams in playoffs. Like, you know, it'd be so sweet seeing you guys win the division along with the Bills. As you know, the Bills clinching their AFC East. So I'm rooting for y'all. I really am. So it's really cool just seeing something different in the playoff for sure this year.
All right. Thanks, French, for jumping on. We appreciate you. Again, that is my co-host from Ginger's Talk Football. What's that?
Was that your daughter?
Yeah, that's another Ginger. Lila, come here.
Holy
How many gingers is there?
There's too many Gingers.
Too many gingers.
Say hi.
Hi.
You're on live stream.
Live?
All right, run along.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.
That's what I have to do with my kids. My kids are twins. I got twin boys that are 7, Alex and Charlie. And I go Browns, and they go, OHI, go Browns.
That's awesome.
All right.
All right. So, Chris Spann, any word on Hubbard? Hubbard is out for the year.
Yeah, he is.
This is big news. This is
Hey.
big news.
Brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law?
Brother-in-law.
There you go. Outstanding.
Hey, Chris.
So yeah, Hubbard's out for the year, which means it's Nick Harris, and we really can't afford another injury going into the playoffs.
No.
It's going to be rough if anybody else goes down in that spot. So hopefully, do we know what Wyatt's timeline is? It's not this week.
Day to day.
Day to day. So
He's
week to week.
Yeah, they said that they're hoping he's back by the playoffs.
All right. So if he's
It's got to be a high ankle sprain. They haven't really said anything about it, though, have they? They just said Stefanski wouldn't touch on it, but he said he's weak to week.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of vague. Hubbard's out for sure, out for the year. And that was a pretty awkward looking injury he suffered there. Nick Harris did pretty well filling in. He didn't grade out real good when it comes to like PFF wise, but he only allowed 1 pressure, which is saying something because he had a pretty tough matchup against the Giants there. So, yeah, he was a utility lineman too. So, it is certainly a blow to the offensive line. Hey, if we can get to the playoffs so we can have Teller back though, Nick Harris, it sounded like the coaching staff was real confident in him, especially in training camp and moving into the season. He can play guard, he can play center, he can kind of move around. So, you know, I was pretty happy. Again, didn't grade out perfect, but he was pretty serviceable.
For somebody that hasn't taken a snap in the NFL, come in that week, I mean, and to not be flashing for the wrong reasons,
Right.
you can't complain.
No, you can't.
Not at all. Are the Browns better without OBJ? All right, so, man, Chad's missing out on this one. I bet Chad would have some stuff to say about this. Let me start this one off real quick first. There's 2 sides to this. Number 1, OBJ is clearly a talented receiver. Are we all in agreement?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Probably one of the most talented receivers in the NFL.
Yes.
On one hand, it's absolutely crazy to suggest that you're a better team with less talent. However, there is a running narrative that the Browns may be better off without OBJ. And
I agree.
so, who said that?
I did. I think you guys are better off without him.
So here's my question.
Hold on,
If
is the kid from Jacksonville.
yeah.
I'm a neutral opinion here. I'm coming from an outsider perspective.
All right.
All right.
So
So let me ask you this, because if OBJ is a problem, if we're better off without him, then presumably we're talking about the narrative where Baker tries to force the ball to him. It doesn't work out. The defenses play that. If that's the case, and if that is in fact true, that that's what happens, is that on OBJ or Baker? There's two parts to this question. Let's go to Tim, and then let's go to that fat guy, and then I want to go to BJ, Gavin, and French.
All right, so there's no way that we're better without OBJ. I think that the team has come together. If you put him on the field, OBJ has already said that I want to win. I understand the offense that I'm in. I don't need to get the ball every time. I'm excited to hear what Gavin has to say, being a Giants fan and, having many years with OBJ. So if you insert OBJ right now and Baker doesn't have a lock on him, we are a nightmare. We're already a problem for defenses. We are an absolute nightmare for everyone. And I'm a huge fan. I love OBJ. And I think that we are going to be much, much better with him back on the field and healthy, and Baker playing the way he is and not focusing on someone. He's spreading the ball around. He isn't targeting one person. OBJ comes back. He's not focusing on OBJ anymore. Baker's got that taste. He knows. What I love about Baker is he knows how he's winning right now, and he's not going to let go of that. So he's not going to all of a sudden Odell's back, I got to feed him the ball. No, he's not going to do that. Baker runs that team now, and he has that confidence, and it's awesome to see. I think it's time to start talking to him. It's time to pay him.
That fat guy, what do you think about this?
I believe that OBJ is puppet mastering Baker. I'm going to go on the flip side of this because Baker has been so much better without OBJ because he doesn't have to feed the ball. And it's not OBJ's fault. It is the coach's fault. It is the head coach's fault of trying to get a dynamic wide receiver into the game. And guess what? After the bye week, Baker has got, 13 touchdowns and 1 interception?
Yeah, since week 7, yeah.
Oh, okay. So guess what happened when that happened? No OBJ. He's not worried about trying to focus on OBJ to get him his touches, to get him his yards. And it doesn't matter what OBJ says. It matters what Baker says now.
And I think that Baker has that on his shoulders now. He knows this is my team.
And I understand that. But OBJ is going to come back in going, hey, kid, they traded me for a first-round pick. Feed me the ball. I got you. And what happened after that? He has hit Landry multiple times, Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones, which I didn't even bring up on my you know what I mean? He is actually letting it go and not worried about where Odell is.
But do you think that was, like you said, the coach's fault? Odell, Baker, don't you think Baker might have came into his own a little bit more? He has a mentality now to where he's not going to be worried about that?
I think it was Odell's fault because if you look at the first few games, we beat Dallas because of Odell, right?
I mean, Odell was a showcase in that game, yes.
Well, in that last play, I mean, I don't think that happened without Odell.
Okay. But so there's a focus on Odell when Odell's there. Guess what? Since week, 5? 5 or 6?
Yeah.
Odell's been gone. What have the Browns done? Higgins has got more passes. Tight ends got more passes. Peoples is in the game now, and Landry got more passes. It is Baker thinking that every other wide receiver is part of him, not just Odell.
So let me go to you, BJ. Is this an OBJ problem, or is this a Stefanski problem, or a Baker problem?
I think it's a little bit of everything, honestly. And truthfully, I'd cut him. I'd cut him. I'd get rid of him. I'd figure out what you got to do for more than one reason. Number one, the offense doesn't flow with him in there. That's obvious. It didn't flow last year. Well, I guess we could chalk that up to Freddie Kitchens or whatever. But it didn't flow last year. It sure in hell didn't flow this year. Baker's definitely better has definitely performed better without OBJ on the field. You can't argue that, right? You can't.
Right.
So the other part is when you put OBJ back on the field, he's making a lot of money. That's a lot of money can be tied up into other things, but other people are going to have to pay. So the other thing is Rashard Higgins is playing very well. And I can't wait to see the type of progress that Peoples-Jones makes next year after a year in the NFL, because he's proven to be a playmaker. He can make some plays. So you also have to understand that you got two young receivers that you're going to lose if you continue to cater to OBJ, because them kids are going to want their touches. Am I wrong?
Right. Now, I'm interested, Gavin. You know this from both sides of the table. You're a Giants fan and a Browns fan, so you know both sides of this. Tell us how we should be feeling right now.
It was funny when the Giants traded Odell to the Browns because, again, Giants fan first, Browns fan second. Still a big Browns fan, though. But I sat in my room and just, didn't come out for a while. I was truly upset. And in hindsight, we did win that trade because we got Jabril Peppers, who's killed it, and Dexter Lawrence, who's killed it.
Ooh, careful there.
What do you don't think?
Well, that's a different discussion.
Are you talking about Jaboy?
What's that?
Are you talking about Jaboy?
That's a different conversation. All right. Sorry for interrupting you there, Gavin. Go ahead.
No problem.
Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
OH.
OHIO. He's
All right.
All right. Keep going, Gavin. Sorry about that.
Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
Odell is too talented for him to be the problem. I think it's a combination of things. I think it's the fact that Baker's now learned probably 4 different offenses in his time in the NFL. So it's finally starting to gel this year. And gelling in the second half, you see Baker really improve. The O-line this year has really just drastically improved from last year. So Baker isn't just a one-read-and-go quarterback. He gets to sit back there and see the field. So I think now next year, when you bring back Odell, assuming he plays how he should, I know he's coming off a big injury, but I think you bring back Odell next year, teams have to respect the pass, and that opens up things in the run game and vice versa. So I think he just adds so much to this offense. He can't be the problem. And no one's the problem. It's not Baker. It's not the coaching staff. It's not Odell. It's just poor timing.
French, what is it going to take to get him to Duval? These guys want to get rid of him.
No, I don't know if I want Odell and Duval. And the way I look at Odell is I look at him as a culture player.
All right, we lost French.
French is out.
He's out. Culture player. But no, I don't know if you cut him. I think you got to be able to at least get something for him. We're not going to get anywhere near the type of return on investment that we gave up for him. But I think it's certainly a question. You got 2 of the top 5 at least heading into the season. I don't know if it's been updated, but we have 2 of the top 5 highest paid wide receivers in the NFL in Jarvis and Odell, and it's only going to get worse. And we got guys to pay. We got to pay Nick Chubb. We got to pay, Denzel Ward. We got to pay Baker. There's so many guys we got to pay. I have a feeling at some point that's where we're going to end up saving some money. But, I don't know if it's next year. I do agree with Joe. Joe says, I think you got to give him 8 games next year. Let him get back from injury, get better acclimated with Baker in the offense, and, you might get a better return if traded. Speaking of Joe.
Is anybody else willing to let this offense stutter for 8 games next year? Half the season?
Well, I think that if it stutters, I think sorry. I think if it stutters, I think it'll end real quick. I think Stefanski is better.
Yeah, I don't think you can put
Than
8
that.
games on it. I mean,
Well, we just had a discussion earlier. You know, with Wilson. You know, you're missing tackles. You're a healthy scratch. He's not going to let something like that happen. We also have the whole situation with, you know, COVID. They, you know, everything they learned this often. They learned Stefanski's system via Zoom calls. You know, so like, who knows what's going to happen? You know, coming next year. I think they'll get a good feel for it. I have so much confidence in Stefanski, and I initially didn't. I didn't know how I felt about him coming here. I knew he was a really good coach. I knew he had a fantastic jawline, but I didn't know, you know, like
Silver Fox.
Yeah, like I just didn't know. But now, like, I'm sold. I'm sold on him as a coach, 100%. I might be overly optimistic, but I get this feeling that like we could, like, they always talked Browns dynasty, like there could be this thing. You kind of have that little bit of that feeling that like if we keep some of these core pieces together and this coach, we might be looking at years and years of success, and that's exciting to me.
Let's go to that fat guy. I know you got something you want to say, and then I want to introduce Joe Starkey, who's been chiming in the comments. We'll get to him next.
Let's go to Joe.
Let's go to Joe. Joe, thanks for joining, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Sorry I was kind of blowing up the comment section, but I'm glad to be able to join.
No, we love it. So let's hear your piece on OBJ.
So my thoughts on OJ would just be, you know, you guys were saying it earlier. I mean, he's an elite talent. He's an elite guy. If he works in the system, great. I don't really see him being, you know, we're run heavy. Baker is play action, rolling out to his right. He's the best. And I don't think it fits, you know, OBJ's play style too much. But again, you know, if OBJ kind of humbles himself a little bit and just says, hey, and if he's really up for winning, you know, I think take him a shot. And I think, you know, if he doesn't demand as much as he probably was at the beginning of the season, I think, you know, good things could happen, you know, even if it was for us here in Cleveland or if he moves on somewhere else.
All right, there we go. What do you say to that, fat guy?
Well, it's just hard because OBJ is a personality. He is a great wide receiver. I'm not saying he's not, but he is a personality. And the last thing this team needs is a personality. We already have it with Stefanski, with Chubb, with Hunt. We don't need somebody else chiming in their 2 cents going, well, why am I not getting the ball? And I think that's what's going to happen because guess what? That is what happened the first 4 games of the Browns, and look where they're at now.
All right, so let me ask you this, Gavin. Were you better off without OBJ? Yes or no? Just a quick.
Probably no. I mean, we got a rookie. We got a young quarterback. He doesn't have that number 1 receiver to rely on. So, no.
Did you have these questions before OBJ was gone? Were you guys, as Giants fans, having the same exact conversation?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was calling out. He wanted the ball, and he wasn't getting it, at least in the volume he should. And that's the reason we traded him.
All right, so let's kind of switch gears here. What do you think Baker is better at, commercials or footballs? From Brandon, commercials or football? This is an interesting topic, and I don't know that I understand the fascination with this, guys. Do you guys understand this? No.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
His commercials are the best.
They're the best. Okay, I can agree with that. Let me say my piece. My piece is these guys have a limited opportunity to make their dough. All right. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, you want to be in a commercial and I'll pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars, your answer is going to be yes. And if you say your answer is going to be no, you're a liar. You just are. All right. I don't care if he's playing bad. The dude got offered a commercial before he played bad, and it has no effect. This is a worse conversation in my mind, and I appreciate the comment, Brandon. But I'm talking about from the media perspective. I'm tired of ESPN and NFL Network and these other guys. harping on him about his commercials when he's not playing well. Like, he did it on purpose. He's like, screw you guys. I'm going to shoot these commercials. I'm going to be a funny guy, and then I'm going to go play like shit just to piss you guys off. No, that's not the way it works. I love his commercials. Joe, what do you think?
I mean, the commercials are good and all, but I think before when he was doing the covers and stuff like that, I think it was kind of getting to his head a little bit bigger, and I think he even said he didn't realize how much it took to win in the NFL. But now he probably did it in the off season before or long ago. It's irrelevant to him at this point.
Does anybody else have any input on this other than the commercials are funny?
I think it comes back to the fact that Baker's became a household name. He's better at football than he is at commercials. The commercials are great, but we're learning that he's a great football player. We're learning that he is our quarterback. That was been the question forever. Everybody wants to deny it. Well, no, people wanted to deny it, and now they can't deny it any longer. And I think that's something like, let's say the Browns go deep in the playoffs. You bring OBJ back, Baker. This is me. It's gonna take it away. So at the beginning of the season, technically you could say that Odell was the name on our team. 100% was the name on our team at the beginning of the year. Baker is the name on our team right now. I know we have Chubb. I know we have Jarvis, Garrett, everything, but still, Baker right now is the name that across the board in the United, wherever in the world, Baker is the name that is attached to the Browns right now. Am I wrong? Or roast me.
No, I
roast
agree.
me if you think.
I'm not going to roast you, but Chubb is the way the team runs.
Well, no, Chubb is the way the team runs. But I'm saying when you talk about the Cleveland Browns, what are people going to say right now? Chubb still? I mean, and in Cleveland, sure.
No, it's Chubb. Chubb has won us how many games? Not Baker.
100%. But I'm saying across the board, being Baker's in commercials, everything else, the name Chubb,
the quarterback.
yeah, I'm saying that's the name. I'm saying that if we would go deep into the playoffs, Baker is no longer going to look at Odell as a fact of I need to feed him the ball. He's the guy.
Baker needs to be bigger than Odell in his head.
Yeah, exactly.
He's putting Odell on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And Baker needs to be the big man on campus. And he needs to find that balance between I'm the big man on campus and he has to balance that with keeping his head on his shoulders without getting too inflated. What do you think, BJ?
Back to the comment about I'm still stuck on the Chubb wins this games, Baker doesn't. Baker single-handedly beat the Bengals, and I think you can make a good argument that he beat New York too, because the running game just really wasn't doing shit. And them were two must-win games. But I don't know. My opinion on Odell. Like I think he's great. I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the league. He's got a bunch of talent. I don't think he fits the Cleveland culture, to be honest with you. He's not a get your lunchbox and grab your hat and go to work type of guy.
Too much of a diva?
I hate that word because I think everybody in the NFL is a diva to some point, unless your name's Joe Thomas.
Fair enough. I like that.
Okay.
That guy, he was fishing on draft day.
But Nick Chubb isn't a diva because he doesn't.
No, and that's the thing. I think to a point, there's got to be somewhere in there, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
I love that about Chubb, though. Chubb is quiet.
Yeah.
He doesn't say anything.
I love that.
He's very
definitely
quiet.
one table put your heart hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else was that guy? Marshawn Lynch was that type of player. And then we found out that he was a freaking head case later on.
Right? That's the thing is, I think they're all
But he was the keep my mouth shut type of guy. And
they're all pampered somewhere. Somewhere they're pampered. They're divas somewhere, whether it's at home, whether it's their 8,000-inch TV and their food being catered to them every single day. They're all divas somewhere. But so I hate that term, but I think Odell's going to hold the team back. I don't think he's what we envision Cleveland football to be. That's Jarvis Landry does. The guy goes to work. you know, he needs to quit jawing a little bit because he gets himself in trouble, whether that was right or wrong. You know?
Joe, I'm going to give you the last word on this before we move on to our final question. Any final thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, so I have to say that yes, we run through Chubb and we run through Hunt, but I will have to say that I think, you know, Baker sets the tone with, you know, his presence and his, you know, his demeanor and just the way, like, I mean, he'll make a block, he'll run with Chubb or whoever to score a touchdown. I mean, you know, he is almost like the life of the party in a way when he is out there on the field. And but it's also, if something goes wrong, he's, you know, the Browns offense also feeds off that. I think he definitely contributes a lot emotionally. We ride him when he's high. We also, you know, hit him on his lows. But, you know, I think that, but yes, our offense starts with everything with the running attack with Chubb and Hunt. But I think that Baker definitely is the one with the motion, we ride the motions with him.
All right, so let's leave on a light note. My wife wants to know.
Oh, there she is.
What do you think Baker is going to reference in his next press conference? We've had TLC, we've had The Office or Parks and Rec. We've had so many different, you know, 90s rap lyrics. It's so good. And he was asked about this. He said it's something going on in the QB room where he has to pay a fine if he doesn't fit something in. I want to go around and see if anybody has a guess on what he goes to next.
I'd like to start this one off. My Mac's about to die, so I'm going to stay my piece and I'm going to head out. But first of all, by the way, Brandon had Kevin with the chili as his logo there. I thought that was awesome. Kind of skipped over that. But there it is. I love the reference thing he keeps doing. But maybe we see some Seinfeld, some Friends. Hard to predict these kinds of things. Maybe he goes the movie route now. I'm a huge Step Brothers fan. That's one of my favorite comedies.
Oh yeah,
I love Step Brothers. So
are you old enough for Step Brothers?
Am I old enough? I mean, probably. I'm in high school. I'm in high school.
Oh, okay. You're
old. Oh man,
Step Brothers.
Yeah,
maybe.
Gavin's a youngin.
I'm a youngin.
But he knows his sports, man. He knows his sports.
I'm not saying he doesn't. This is taking me for a weird turn.
Right.
Is
BJ.
it that or is it the whiskey?
The whiskey. The whiskey.
Right, the whiskey.
BJ, do you have a guess or what would you like to hear next from Baker?
I think if the Browns take over the division after week 17, I think he's going to pull some Ricky Bobby if you ain't
some
for
Ricky
sure.
Bobby. Man,
good
that
call.
would be good.
You've been thinking about this.
Yeah,
Joe,
I'm thinking of it. I was like, yeah.
What about you, Joe? What do you got?
I was definitely going to say probably something, you know, Friends related or something like that. A little Joey Tribbiani, how you doing? You know, that's what I'd probably go with. But that, or I'm hoping some maybe some old school rinses or something like that.
Rock, old school.
Old school.
That's my boy, Blue.
My boy.
Something like that. All right.
Something like that.
That fat guy. What do you got? Any special requests if Baker stumbles upon this somehow?
Oh my God! I hope he does because I want to go with Wu-Tang Clan.
Ooh.
Just a little Wu. I don't ask for much. A little Method and Redman, and be done with it, and then close it out and be done.
Tim, what do you got?
I mean, we could go, you know, we bring up Wu-Tang, but, you know, we could stick with the Cleveland natives and say something about Bone Thugs, you know?
Oh,
yeah.
You know, see him at the crossroads, something like that. Or, you know, we talked about his commercials. We could, you know, maybe he makes a commercial reference one time, you know, see if people pick up on that. I don't know. It's exciting regardless. He makes it fun. He is a personality, and he's really, really coming into his own. He really is, and I love it.
That's awesome. And hey, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining, everybody that commented in the feed. This is something that we may do in a spontaneous fashion in the future when we may just pop up. A couple of us might get together and say, hey, we're going to talk football. We might just take guests or whatever. We're also going to do scheduled episodes. Keep an eye out next week. We're definitely going to have one next week. We're going to do a giveaway. We're going to give away a gift certificate, maybe some autographed Browns memorabilia, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you follow us, subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook so you can be notified when we go live, and all that good stuff. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. That fat guy, Tim, BJ, Gavin's gone, Joe. Yes, I appreciate you guys all for joining. I hope you had fun, and we got to do this again, and we'll keep it rolling. Everybody's welcome anytime.
Craig?
Yeah,
thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this incredible idea, dude. This is awesome. I'm very excited to see where this goes.
Hopefully it takes off. This is the pilot, so to speak. So we get to play with the buttons. I don't think I clicked any wrong buttons or anything like that. So we didn't mess it up on the first try. But we will have future episodes. And Joe, maybe we can get you on for a full episode at some point in time when work's not crazy. And BJ, somehow you escaped without getting a call live.
Attaboy.
Somehow.
Did you just wink at the camera? He did. You winked.
He did. That was smooth. That was so smooth.
Get out of here. I can't even close out with this.
I can't comment on that because it's not letting in God's word. If I say something about it, then I'm gonna have to go do something. So I'm not. That's like a little wink. Like I got it. Like it. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about it. It's like the Fight Club. You don't talk about it.
So make sure you find the Browns Table on Facebook, on YouTube, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like I said, we're going to probably do like $100 gift card giveaway plus some autographed Browns memorabilia, which will be awesome. So that will be announced during the next live episode. So you have to tune in to be able to know how to win that. And what we'll do is We'll leave on that note. Again, Joe, that fat guy, Tim, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. First episode.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll do this again, and I'm sure we'll be in touch after this. And for everybody else, have a great evening. Thanks for joining the Browns Roundtable.
Good night.
Later.
Go Browns.